So, the last two functions of ne in Chichewa, which are a bit similar, but you see the difference. Sure. Ne functions as a subject coordinator. The subject of the sentence is the word, either a pronoun or a noun, that is doing the action of the verb in that particular sentence. So, for example, in this sentence, ine nipita kwatu, I will go home. That's the literal meaning. In this sentence, the subject of this sentence is I, which is ine. So, in the verb nipita, in this verb, the verb has two parts. There is what we call the base or the stem. Base, others refer to it as the stem. Base or stem, this is what constitutes the actual meaning of the word. We'll go, there is Peter, which carries the meaning of go. And now we add what we call affixes. Affix singular, affixes. Certain word forms are added to the stem in order to come up with a new word or to show a grammatical function. So we can add them before the stem or after the stem. When these affixes are added before the stem, they are referred to as prefixes in English. And when they are added after, so they are referred to as suffixes. So you see, ni is added before go. Ni. And this ni is trying to show the coordination between the verb stem Peter and the doer of that action in this sentence, that is ine. The one who do this action is ine, which is the subject. So ni functions as a subject coordinator in this case. Ine nipita kwatu. It's something to show an agreement between the subject and the verb. If you say ine apita kwatu, like ine apita kwatu, this is wrong. A Chichewa speaker, a native Chichewa speaker will laugh at you. Like, ine apita kwatu. It's only kids that speak like this, because the child has not learned the relationship between ine and the showing that this action is done by the subject. For us to show that kind of relationship, we need to put ndi and not a. Alright, so in the second sentence, sindifuna mwana wamani. Sindifuna mwana wamani. Again, we have I don't want child disobedient. So it's like I don't want a disobedient child or an impolite child. Woman can mean disobedient or impolite woman. Now let's look at sindifuna. We have funa, which is the stem. Funa. Funa, which means want. This is the entry word that you find in the dictionary. If you are reading a Chichewa English dictionary, the words that come, that are introduced there are the stems, like funa, pita, from which you can add now affixes, prefixes and suffixes, depending on what I try to communicate. So funa, we have C which means which carries the meaning of don't. Ndi, it's carrying the same meaning that ndipita was carrying, that it's I. So it's like don't, I want, in the same way. So a Chichewa speaker would know that, oh, so it's I don't want. Si, don't. Ndi, I. Funa, want. So I don't want. In one word, having that kind of meaning of 3 words in English. So, ndi, that's why in this sentence we don't have I like ine. We don't have this word ine written here because Chichewa allows us to use verbs, and this word ndi, which is the subject coordinator, will give a certain sense in a Chichewa speaker that, oh, it's talking about I, because ndi refers back to ine, which has not been written here. So the subject can be omitted and the sentence will still make sense. You can say ine sindifuna mwana wa mama, or you can just say sindifuna mwana wa mama. And in Chichewa, it makes a complete sense without the whole subject written overtly.